B. Walt, you watch CNN, right?
Every day.
Right, right, right. Okay. Um, the name Jake Tapper ring a bell to you at all?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay. He's he's into the geek shit, bro. Did you know that?
No, I did not know that, but he is one of the I don't know the proper term, but he does have a show, him and some other person, and they do, the current events and stuff like that. So I'm familiar with him. I could point him out in the lineup. The show's solid, but it's just like every other CNN show. So
So so I don't watch CNN, but this came across my timeline, and he goes hard in the paint. He's got an opinion that I kind of feel him on, and we'll talk about it. I'm gonna bring up a quote. Well, let me set it up. Let me give some context. There are some actors inevitably associated with a certain cinematic universe, but there are a handful of actors that have made the jump successfully between the two or others. Last week, CNN correspondent Jake Tapper has now taken a hard line against such crossovers. Quote, I think that if you are in the Marvel universe, then you have to have the ethics and the strength to not then go into the DC universe as an actor or both. You can't be J. Jonah Jameson's Peter Parker's boss and then turn around and you're Commissioner Gordon for Batman. You can't do it, Simmons. You can't do it. It's not fair. You can't be one of Aquaman's evil gremlin fishmen and then turn around and be the Green Goblin fighting Spider-Man. You can't be Daredevil and Batman, Affleck. You have to pick one. And I'm actually an unapologetic Affleck fan. I don't care what anybody says. And he's a good Batman. But I'm sorry, he was Daredevil first.
So I have to ask: is this satire? Is he being serious, or is this satire?
The answer is yes, bro. Vanity and Apollona. The answer is yes. Um, he was being satire, but you and I both knows as many comics as we done fucking dealt with, not myself excluded. Every joke's got some truth to it. He meant what he was saying, bro. I absolutely know he meant what he was saying. He just put it in the form of a joke, in my opinion. But he's right, no? I mean, what do you think?
I don't have a problem with it. As long as they do the character justice. These are actors, man. Like that's what they're supposed to do. But what I will say is we do have a lot of up and coming folks who need a shot at shit. So
exactly,
give them a shot. But an actor's job is to pretend to be somebody else and get paid to do the shit. And the thing about it, let's be honest, they usually do better in certain roles than other ones. Ben Affleck was better at Batman than he was at Daredevil because Daredevil was a trash movie.
Daredevil was a trash movie.
Ryan Reynolds was better as Deadpool than he was as Green Lantern. Green Lantern was a trash movie.
Well, okay, but see, this is kind of where I feel him. But he actually didn't bring this up. Remember, he was Deadpool first, actually, before he was the shitty Green Lantern. So he came back to do Deadpool. There's like pre-Green Lantern Deadpool, and there's post-Green Lantern Deadpool. They're like two different people. It's like a Ryan Reynolds multiverse within the multiverse. You know what I'm saying?
I honestly, like I said, they actors, I don't have an issue with it. I mean, Samuel L. Jackson has been one of the baddest fucking Jedi and one of the baddest characters in the MCU. Like, I don't have a problem with it. I have no problem with it.
I don't want to have a problem with this. So like on the joking side, on more of a, I guess, just as a fan side, like it kind of pulled me, like when I, Infinity War and Endgame, Josh Brolin being Thanos. To me, Infinity War is our Empire Strikes Back, in my opinion, because the bad guy won.
Empire Strikes Back is my Empire Strikes Back, brother.
I said our. You talking your. There's that pronoun trouble again. We talked about this in the fucking. Anyway, you know what I'm saying. So when he was in as Cable in the Deadpool movie, it kind of took me out of it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not, because I just wanted him to
be good at it.
He was. Yeah, I mean, well, it's Cable. You could have got any salty-haired white man. It could have been the wrestler. Kevin Nash could have been Cable. Like, it didn't have to be Brolin. You know what I'm saying? Like, he did a great job. But that goes to my other point. There's most of these characters are white males.
Exactly.
So you can kind of just swap them in and out for each other. So when before he actually did it, I didn't want Chris Evans to be Captain America because he had already been Johnny Storm. And I know that's Fox to MCU, but that's what I was thinking in the beginning. Now I got two of my favorite MCU movies out of him because of that. So I'm going to shut the fuck up. But at the time, I had an issue with it, is what I'm saying. That's all.
At the time, there was no MCU in the sense that they were trying to fit the Fantastic Four into some sort of continuum. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't have a problem with him doing Johnny Storm.
So Jake Tapper is a piece of shit.
The thing is, no, I like Jake Tapper. No, the thing is this: if they were doing the MCU at that time and Fantastic Four fell into it, then he would not have been casted as Bolt. So it wouldn't have happened. And just because, I mean, and these actors that are crossing the line, going to DC and doing shit, going to Marvel and doing shit, going to Lucas and doing shit. Like, I don't have a problem with that shit. Let them do whatever they want. They fucking actors. That's what it's for. The only thing that I would like is for up and coming actors, specifically those of the minority nature, to get shots and shit. Because you know what happens with minority actors is that, you know, you get a handful of them and then you see them niggas in everything.
Right.
But there's a lot of us out there. Well, not us, but there's a lot of black actors or minority actors in general out there that are talented. Give them a shot to do some stuff, so they don't end up doing shitty TV shows that end up on BET Plus or All Black.
Your favorite apps.
No, you get what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of up and coming actors that would be just as good. But what happens with minority actors a lot of times, and they're trying to stop it now. I mean, they're trying to change the scenarios now, but what it is they're going to put the ones in there that they know for a fact are bankable, right? They're willing to give a shot to these new white boys all the time. Like, who was that one? The dude who totally ruined fucking Gambit. Every movie they put this dude in was a fucking flop. Taylor Kirshner or whatever. Taylor, whatever the fuck his name is. You know what I'm talking about?
Okay.
He was the new white boy. He was the new white boy. They were slapping this nigga in everything. And every movie he was in was trash. And I actually thought he was a solid actor, but he was no different than the other 15 white boys. You know what I'm saying?
See, now we got
to. But what Hollywood does, I'm gonna tell you, what Hollywood does is they take these motherfuckers and they try to make you swallow these niggas and they try to make them stars. They push them down your throat and try to make them stars. But that's only with the white boys. You got a shit ton of actors of color across the board that you could be doing this with too. And they don't really do that. They just take the ones that's already bankable and throw them out there. There's no reason why, and I love Denzel, but there's no reason why there should have ever been talked about Denzel being fucking Magneto. You want to make Magneto black in some weird world, fine, but it don't got to be Denzel. There's a lot of, and Anthony Mackie is becoming that too. I'm starting to see him. I'm starting to see him in everything. I like Anthony Mackie. I do. I like him, and I'm glad he's doing a lot of work. But there's a lot of other actors out there that can do some shit that ain't getting no kind of chance. Like, give him a chance. That's my only issue with it. Other than that, going back to what you're saying, You know, if you Batman and Daredevil and you do it well, fuck it, do it. Who cares?
For me, you're absolutely right about like the lack of opportunities, 100%. I just I don't know. It's kind of a weird thing because it's almost like a meta thing that shouldn't be meta, but it is meta because it's fucking real life. So that's just kind of where my head is with it. But all jokes aside, Jake Tapper was being dead fucking serious. That's my full point on that.